They've been doing this to you your whole life, and you never noticed. You've been lied to your whole life, not by strangers, by people who smiled at you. Here's the thing nobody says out loud. Most of what you believe about how people treat you, it was engineered. Not by some shadowy government, not in a movie, by the guy selling you something, by the person who needs something from you, by anyone who figured out that your brain has backdoors. And most of them found those backdoors before you even knew they existed. You think you make your own choices. You think you like what you like because of who you are. Honestly, that's the most expensive lie you carry. Look, there are people walking around right now who have studied you. Not you specifically, but you, your fears, your insecurities, the thing you're quietly ashamed of at 2 a.m. They know it, and they've built entire systems around it. The messed up part is, it doesn't feel like manipulation when it's working. It feels like you finally found someone who gets it. Someone who gets you. That's not an accident. There are 6 methods. 6 ways the people around you, the platforms you use, the voices you trust, get inside your head without you noticing. 6 ways your own mind gets used against you. And once you see them, you can't unsee them. That's the warning. Because some of you are going to watch this and realize someone in your life has been running one of these on you for years. Manipulation doesn't feel like control. It feels like comfort. That's the whole point. Let's start. Method 1. The flattery trap. Nobody talks about this one because it feels good going in. That's the point. Here's how it works. Someone starts telling you you're different. You're smarter. You see things other people don't. And something in you just relaxes, your guard drops. You stop questioning them because finally, someone sees what you always suspected about yourself. That's not a compliment. That's a key. They found the lock and they opened it. You see it everywhere on social media right now. These creators who tell you that you're not lazy, you're just misunderstood. You're not failing. Society is rigged against people like you. And look, maybe some of that is true, but watch what happens next. They validate you. Then they sell you something every single time. The flattery came first because it had to. You needed to trust them before they could take from you. That's the whole mechanism. Soften the target, then move in. You want to destroy someone slowly? Don't attack them. Praise them. Constantly. Excessively. Build them up until they stop checking their blind spots. Then just wait. They'll do the rest themselves. They weren't building you up. They were building a fall. Method 2. The illusion of a deal, flash sale, limited time. We're practically giving it away. You've heard it 1,000 times. You'll hear it 1,000 more. Here's why it keeps working even on people who know better. You don't know what anything actually costs to make. You genuinely don't. So when someone says, this is a steal, your brain has no reference point to push back with. It just accepts the frame. And the frame says, you won. You didn't win. But you feel like you did. And that feeling is the product. The actual product. The thing they're really selling is the sensation of being smart enough to get a deal. That's it. That's the whole trick. Every limited time offer is a leash. The countdown timer is not real urgency. It's manufactured pressure, and your nervous system can't tell the difference. Method 3, this one's darker, creating anxiety out of nothing. Every group of people has a wound. Parents worry their kids will fall behind. Women worry about how they look. Men worry they're not enough. These aren't random. These are known quantities, studied, cataloged, weaponized. You remember that education company ad? If we don't train your child, we're training your child's future competitor. That sentence was not written, it was built. Every word chosen to hit a specific nerve in a specific type of person at a specific moment. They didn't give you a reason to buy. They gave you a reason to be afraid of not buying. That's different. That's a completely different thing. Fear of loss hits harder than desire for gain. Every person who has ever sold anything knows this. Your anxiety isn't always yours. Sometimes someone handed it to you on purpose, and you've been carrying it ever since thinking it was your own. They didn't sell you a solution. They sold you the problem first. Method 4. Selling you something useless by making it mean something. Pay attention here. This one runs deep. Water is cheap. Food is cheap. Clothes are cheap. You know what's expensive? Things that do nothing. A painting, a watch, a ring with a rock in it. None of those things keep you alive. None of them make your life functionally better. But they cost more than a month of groceries sometimes. Why? Because someone attached a concept to the object. They told a story about what owning it says about you, and your brain, which desperately wants to know where it stands in the social order, bought the story first. The object was secondary. The diamond ring doesn't mean love. It means someone convinced an entire generation that love requires proof, and that proof has a price tag. That's not romance. That's a marketing campaign that's been running since the 1940s. You inherited someone else's sales pitch and called it tradition. Think about every status symbol you've ever wanted. Now ask yourself honestly, did you want the thing, or did you want what you thought the thing would make people think about you? Those are not the same desire, not even close. You didn't buy the watch. You bought the version of yourself you hoped it would create. Method 5. This one takes time. That's what makes it so effective. Occupying your behavior until it becomes habit. You want to make someone need you? Don't be impressive, don't be charming, just be consistent. Show up the same way long enough, and the human brain will start to build you into its baseline. You become the default, the expected, and when you're gone, there's a shape where you used to be. That's not love, that's conditioning. And it works exactly the same way on you as it does on a lab animal. The brain doesn't care about the source, it just notices the pattern. You know how you got hooked on certain apps? It wasn't the features, it wasn't the design, it was the variable reward, the intermittent buzz, the notification that might be something, might be nothing. They didn't build a product, they built a slot machine and put it in your pocket, and now you reach for it without thinking, before your feet hit the floor in the morning, in the middle of conversations with people you actually care about, while you're eating, while you're supposed to be sleeping. You don't even decide to do it anymore. That's the whole game. Get past the decision, get into the automatic. Method 6, and honestly, this might be the most insidious one, using comfort to kill your instinct to fight back. You've heard some version of this your whole life. Just keep your head down, do your job, don't rock the boat. At least it's stable, at least it's something. Sounds reasonable on the surface. It's not reasonable, it's a cage with good lighting. Here's what that advice actually does. It takes your natural discomfort, the signal your gut sends when something is wrong, and it reframes that discomfort as the problem. You're not trapped. You're just being ungrateful. You're not being held back. You're being realistic. And the twisted part, the people who say it to you usually believe it themselves. They're not lying. They're just passing down the thing that was done to them. Generational sedation. Your grandfather was told. Your father was told. Now you're being told. Stay still. Stay small. Stay put. Most people never push past the edge of what they were told was possible for someone like them. Not because they can't. Because the discomfort of that edge was reframed as danger before they ever got close enough to test it. You're not afraid of failure. You're afraid of the version of failure that was described to you by someone who already quit. They didn't break your ambition, they just made you call it wisdom. So here's where we land. Not with hope. Don't expect that from me. You just sat through 6 methods that have probably been used on you. Maybe by a brand, maybe by a platform, maybe by someone sitting across from you at dinner right now. And the question isn't whether it happened. It did, to all of us. The question is what you do with the knowledge that it's happening. Most people won't do anything. That's not pessimism, that's just the number. The same way most people know cigarettes kill them and smoke anyway. Knowing something and changing because of it are completely different skills. Most people only have the first one. But now here's the cold thing about seeing clearly. Once you spot the mechanism, you can't unsee it. The flattery that used to feel good starts to feel like a setup. The sale that used to feel like a win starts to feel like a trick. The comfort that used to feel like safety starts to feel like a leash. That's not a gift. Not exactly. It's uncomfortable as hell, actually, because now you're responsible for what you do with it. Ignorance had an excuse built in. Awareness doesn't. Look, nobody's coming to fix this for you. Not a system, not a leader, not a video on the internet. The people who understand how these mechanisms work either use them or protect themselves from them. There's no third option. You're either the one who sees the trap, or you're the one funding it. That sounds harsh. It is harsh. But soft versions of the truth are just another manipulation, and you've had enough of those. Here's what actually changes things. Not motivation, not inspiration, pattern recognition, the boring, unglamorous daily practice of asking yourself one question before you react. Who benefits from me feeling this way right now? That's it. That one question, applied consistently, is worth more than any book on psychology, more than any course, more than any guru with a newsletter. Just that. One question. Every time. When you feel flattered, ask it. When you feel like you're getting a deal, ask it. When you feel suddenly anxious about something you weren't anxious about an hour ago, ask it. When someone tells you to stay in your lane, ask it. Most of the time, the answer will make you uncomfortable. Good. Discomfort is the only honest feedback you're going to get in a world built to keep you comfortable and compliant. The people who run things aren't smarter than you. They're just less sentimental about human nature. They looked at how people actually work, not how they wish people worked, and they built systems around the reality. You can do the same thing. Not to manipulate, to defend, to see the board before you make a move, to stop being the piece and start being the player. It won't make you popular. People don't like the person who asks too many questions, who doesn't react the way they're supposed to, who doesn't buy the story. But you'll be harder to use. And in a world that is constantly trying to use you, that's not nothing. That's actually everything. Soft versions of the truth are just another manipulation, and you've had enough of those. Stop being the piece. Start being the player. Nobody's going to invite you to make that switch. That's all I've got. Go think about it.